The ongoing tension between DDG and Halle Bailey took a dramatic and deeply troubling turn on May 13, 2025, when news broke that Halle had filed for, and was granted, a domestic violence restraining order against her ex. What had once been seen as a rocky co-parenting situation now appears far more serious, with Halle alleging repeated physical, emotional, verbal, and even financial abuse at the hands of DDG since their breakup in late 2024. According to official documents filed in Los Angeles County Superior Court, Halle described several disturbing incidents, the most severe involving a January 2025 confrontation. She claimed that during an argument while strapping their son Halo into a car seat, DDG became enraged. Allegedly, he screamed at her to get out of the vehicle, using profanity, before physically assaulting her, pulling her hair, slamming her face into the steering wheel, and chipping her tooth in the process. Despite being injured, Halle said she rode along to ensure Halo's safety, and upon arriving at DDG's home, reported the altercation to his family before leaving. The restraining order mandates that DDG stay at least 100 yards away from Halle, their son, and even Halo's school and Halle's car. Included in her filing were graphic images of bruises and a chipped tooth, which she claimed resulted from the assault. But this wasn't an isolated event. In March 2025, DDG allegedly entered Halle's home without permission, snapped a photo of her empty bed, and texted it to her with a suspicious caption. Days later, she says he showed up again, furious she wouldn't let Halo leave due to illness. This time, he allegedly destroyed her Ring camera and threw her phone out of his car while hurling insults. This incident, which prompted Halle to file a police report, also conveniently lines up with DDG's public accusations that Halle was preventing him from seeing their child, claims that were previously used to paint her in a negative light. In her filing, Halle also cited instances of verbal abuse, saying DDG repeatedly called her demeaning names in front of their child. She even accused him of financial manipulation, though those specifics haven't been publicly disclosed. The final straw, according to Halle, came over Mother's Day weekend when DDG sent her a social media post suggesting she was in St. Lucia with another man, singer Brent Faiyaz. Halle insisted she was only there with her son and sister and pleaded with him to let her enjoy the holiday in peace. The judge's order also allows Halle to travel to Italy for 2 months to film a movie, granting her full custody during that time. DDG is barred from speaking publicly about Halle or their son, with Halle alleging that his online commentary has led to fan harassment. When the story broke, DDG was live on stream with Adin Ross, visibly shocked and stumbling through disbelief. His initial response seemed confused and dismissive, later tweeting, "I'm chilling, DTW, I have no worries." That calm exterior didn't sit well with many viewers, who questioned whether he was taking the allegations seriously at all. Public reaction has been swift and largely sympathetic to Halle. Social media users flooded platforms with support for her, expressing regret over previously doubting her side of the story when DDG claimed she was keeping him from Halo. As the June 6th hearing approaches, where the court will decide whether to extend the restraining order up to 5 years, all eyes will be on what further evidence surfaces and how DDG chooses to respond. The criticism aimed at DDG following the restraining order filed by Halle Bailey has been fierce and relentless across social media. Many users have accused the YouTuber turned rapper of leveraging his relationship with Halle, and more disturbingly, their child, for clout and content. A flashpoint came in November 2024, shortly after the couple's breakup, when Halle publicly called him out for featuring their son, Halo, in a Kai Cenat livestream without her consent. The clip featured Kai jokingly introducing himself to baby Halo as his uncle, unaware of the brewing tension behind the scenes. The moment, seemingly lighthearted to viewers, deeply unsettled Halle, prompting her to delete her social media accounts temporarily, a move that, in hindsight, now seems like an early signal of the distress she was experiencing even before. The abuse allegations surfaced. In the wake of Halle's restraining order, and the court-documented claims of physical, emotional, and financial abuse, the tide of public opinion has swung dramatically. Prior to the legal filing, DDG had garnered some sympathy, especially after releasing his March 2025 track, "Don't Take My Son," in which he painted himself as a father being unfairly denied access to his child. However, in light of the new details, that narrative has crumbled. Social media platforms like X, formerly Twitter, have exploded with support for Halle, with users applauding her decision to protect herself and Halo through legal action. The restraining order's viral spread, even picked up by major news outlets like TMZ and the BBC, has not only amplified the story but also introduced a new wave of people to DDG. Ironically, some viewers weren't even sure who he was, mistaking him for soccer star David De Gea. His fame, though significant on YouTube and in hip-hop circles, clearly doesn't match Halle's global profile, especially after her breakout as Ariel in The Little Mermaid. On Reddit forums like RR Hip Hop Heads, discussion threads were flooded with condemnation of DDG's alleged actions. While a few comments criticized Halle for her choice in a partner, others pushed back, noting her career is still thriving, with a major film project in Italy on the horizon. Many also pointed out troubling behavior from DDG that now looks worse, in hindsight, including allegedly operating burner accounts, arguing with an AI version of Halle on stream, and making passive-aggressive jabs at her rising fame through his music, most notably in his controversial track, Famous. The backlash isn't limited to personal reputation. DDG's professional life could be in jeopardy too. Some users have even urged Twitch and other platforms to investigate and potentially ban him for off-platform conduct. The court ordered restriction barring him from discussing Halle or Halo on social media or in content strips him of one of his go-to topics, effectively cutting off a stream of attention and engagement he once capitalized on. Halle's legal move, while protective in nature, has thrown her personal life into the spotlight. It's a bold decision, especially for a public figure with a young child, but it signals just how serious she views the situation. Her filing suggests she's been managing escalating incidents privately for months, even as DDG portrayed himself as the victim of an unfair custody battle. Looking ahead to the June 6, 2025 court hearing, the outcome could reshape everything. If the restraining order is extended, it could set long-term parameters for their co-parenting relationship, if one remains possible at all. For DDG, it could mean further legal scrutiny and a lasting hit to his brand. For Halle, it could mean some peace and structure amid ongoing professional demands. Complicating it all are retrospective evaluations of their relationship. Fans are now revisiting old controversies, from the Ruby Rose drama in 2023 to DDG's perceived jealousy over Halle's film career, and viewing them as early warning signs. Some speculate that career imbalance, especially after The Little Mermaid vaulted Halle into international stardom, may have bred resentment in their relationship. Financial control, another component of her abuse claims, only deepens the complexity. Whatever the outcome in court, it's clear that the dynamics between Halle and DDG have permanently shifted, with her heading to Italy with full custody of Halo and DDG facing mounting public and legal pressure. The path forward for both of them, professionally, personally, and as co-parents, will depend on what happens next in court and how each of them chooses to handle the fallout. When Halle Bailey and DDG first began sparking relationship rumors, the internet went into overdrive. Both were in the midst of major career moments. DDG was dominating the YouTube and rap scenes, while Halle had just landed the iconic role of Ariel in Disney's The Little Mermaid live-action reboot, all while continuing to rise as a musical artist with Chloe x Halle. This pairing had all the ingredients of a Gen Z power couple. By March 2022, speculation became confirmation. DDG made their relationship public with a sweet birthday tribute to Halle on Instagram. Though the post has since been deleted, it read something along the lines of, "Happy birthday to the beautifulest, the flyest, the sweetest, love you forever," making it clear they were more than friends. The couple soon stepped out officially, making a red carpet appearance at the BET Awards that June, coordinating in sleek black outfits and chains that screamed, "It couple energy." Throughout the rest of 2022, they continued to pop up at high-profile events like Variety's Power of Young Hollywood and the Wearable Art Gala. In an Essence interview, Halle shared that she had been watching DDG's YouTube videos since 2015, and that they reconnected when she responded to one of his songs. The detail added a rom-com twist to their origin story, painting it as something kismet. But the fairy tale soon hit turbulence, as most celebrity romances eventually do. In February 2023, DDG's ex, Ruby Rose, reignited drama by accusing Halle of wearing her old clothes. Her tweet, "Having her wear my clothes is crazy, LOL," immediately stirred cheating rumors. Rose allegedly followed up by leaking texts from DDG, hinting at unresolved feelings. Though both DDG and Halle tried to downplay the situation, he tweeted, "Nobody cheated on nobody," and she posted a now-deleted message about the devil working low. The incident cracked their picture-perfect image. That same summer, DDG dropped a track titled Famous, which many fans interpreted as shade toward Halle's acting career. Lines like "filming a movie, now you kissing dudes," and "hardest thing I did was fall in love with the famous" drew heavy backlash. Fans labeled him insecure, accusing him of resenting her success and not being able to handle her on-screen romantic scenes, especially with co-star Jonah Hauer-King. DDG insisted it was just entertainment, but the optics weren't great. Then came what seemed like a high note, December 2023, when the couple welcomed their son, Halo. They kept the pregnancy private, only revealing it through a viral maternity shoot in early 2024. The birth of their child seemed to bring them closer. Reports circulated that DDG gifted Halle a lavish $500,000 in Christmas gifts. He even opened up on The Jason Lee Show, sharing that while Halo wasn't planned, they were ready to embrace parenthood. In the months that followed, they appeared to co-parent peacefully. They celebrated Halle's birthday in Hawaii and revealed Halo's face during a dreamy Italian vacation in July 2024. But that calm didn't last. By October, DDG confirmed their breakup via Instagram stories, asking for privacy. Halle kept things subtle, posting uplifting captions alongside photos with Halo and in the studio. DDG later reflected on the breakup on his podcast, saying they were still forever family, though he admitted feeling targeted online, as if people didn't think he measured up to her level. Their split stirred additional commentary. Media personality Joe Budden publicly criticized DDG, calling him irrelevant and brushing off his career. DDG clapped back on X, mocking Budden's age and longevity in the rap game, and igniting a new side feud in the process. Despite the messiness, they appeared to keep it together for Halo, even throwing a Cocomelon-themed party for his first birthday in December 2024. The party gave fans hope that, while the romance was done, the co-parenting was on steady ground. But behind those curated moments, darker issues were brewing. Thanks for March 2025, DDG was publicly accusing Halle of keeping him from seeing their son, voicing his frustrations in a live stream and dropping the emotionally charged song, "Don't Take My Son." He claimed he wasn't being given a fair chance to be a father, saying all he wanted was to be present for Halo, comfort him, care for him, and just be there. At first, the drama between DDG and Halle Bailey seemed like just another typical celebrity breakup. A few social media spats, cryptic messages, and back and forths that are almost expected when high-profile couples part ways. Their split, like many others in the public eye, seemed destined to follow a predictable path of messy headlines and speculative rumors, with fans picking sides and gossip fueling the fire. But in May 2025, the situation took a significantly darker and more alarming turn when Halle filed for a restraining order against DDG. The legal action was accompanied by allegations of domestic violence, an accusation that would ultimately shatter the facade of their seemingly picture-perfect relationship. This filing changed everything. The narrative surrounding their breakup, which had initially been perceived as a typical Hollywood romance gone wrong, now seemed to mask deeper, more troubling issues. Halle's decision to take legal action and publicly detail the abuse allegations cast a shadow over their entire history as a couple. What had once been seen as a love story, albeit a rocky one, was now being scrutinized through a much darker lens. Fans and onlookers, who had once rooted for them, now found themselves questioning everything they had previously believed about DDG's character and the dynamics of their relationship. The allegations of abuse were not just about physical violence. Halle's claims pointed to emotional abuse, a form of control that often goes unnoticed in the public eye. Emotional abuse can be insidious. It doesn't always leave visible marks, but it can have lasting effects on a person's mental and emotional well-being. In Halle's case, her accusations painted a picture of a controlling partner, one who may have used manipulation and power dynamics to assert dominance in their relationship. These allegations raised questions about the power balance between the 2. Particularly considering Halle's rapidly rising stardom and DDG's struggle to keep pace with her newfound fame. As more details about the alleged abuse came to light, the public's perception of the couple underwent a drastic shift. What had previously been written off as typical celebrity drama now seemed to be something much more serious. Fans, once divided between their support for DDG or Halle, were now faced with the uncomfortable reality of abuse in a relationship that many had once admired. The outpouring of support for Halle on social media was significant, with many people expressing relief that she had taken legal action to protect herself and her son, Halo. Others questioned how such a powerful, successful woman could find herself in a relationship that seemed to have so many red flags in hindsight. This shift in public perception also sparked deeper conversations about the nature of celebrity relationships. Social media and the constant scrutiny that public figures face often gloss over the complexities of personal lives, turning every breakup or argument into content for consumption. In reality, celebrity relationships are not immune to the same issues that affect regular people, from emotional abuse to controlling behavior and manipulation. The difference, however, is that the stakes are higher in the public eye, and these issues are magnified by the spotlight. The allegations also prompted a reevaluation of past moments in their relationship, such as DDG's music, which had raised eyebrows in the past. Tracks like Famous, with its apparent jealousy over Halle's acting career, took on a new meaning. What was once seen as a bit of drama or insecurity was now seen by some as a sign of a much deeper issue. This reframing of past events was crucial in understanding the full scope of the relationship, and it highlighted how easily public figures can become trapped in cycles of toxic behavior that go unchecked. In the end, the unfolding of this darker chapter in their relationship forces the public to confront the complexities of abuse, both emotional and physical, in a world that often sensationalizes and trivializes such matters. While the legal proceedings will ultimately determine the truth behind Halle's claims, the larger conversation about abuse, control, and the real-life impact of celebrity culture is only just beginning. The shift in how people view their relationship serves as a stark reminder of how complicated and sometimes dangerous the dynamics of fame can be, and how abuse, no matter the form, can go unnoticed until it's too late. In the end, what began as a love story between two rising stars has transformed into a cautionary tale about fame, control, and the importance of paying attention to what happens when the cameras stop rolling. The outcome of the upcoming June 2025 court hearing could not only determine the future of their co-parenting arrangement, but could also redefine how both are viewed in the eyes of the public and industry alike. Regardless of the spotlight, stories involving allegations of domestic violence deserve careful thought, empathy, and due process, not just clicks or hot takes.